podcast.
I'm Missy.
And I'm Allie.
And we're sisters
in the mental health field.
Talking about all things stressy
and depressy. What is that little laugh on your face?
I saw you laughing.
I
literally
you
saw
started
you
laughing.
And I was like, oh, what's she giggling about? Like,
okay, because Missy will kill me if I don't do this. Disclaimer. Not medical advice, not mental health advice. We're just here for funsies and educational purposes. Okay, I'm looking out my window right now. I have moved just to my new
we're joining Allie in her new location.
In this lovely home. We're paying a lot because of the area that we're living in is just like a high cost of living area. So that is a little bit of a shock to the system. But the actual place where we are is in the suburbs and it's so nice. But I'm looking out my window and there's like a lot of ticks here and I'm not terrified, but just like very conscious of it. As someone who's coming from a normal tick density, I feel like we think about ticks, we see them, but it's not often you find one. To now going somewhere where there's a ton of ticks and it's like tick epicenter, I'm like, I don't walk in the grass. Like I am constantly doing tick checks. We're super like careful. We don't wear shoes in the house, nothing. Okay. But I'm looking outside and there's this lady who I love that this is in her heart to do this, but we have like we live in like a townhome situation, so we have like a big shared backyard, and she is like gardening right next to the woods area where you see so many deer every day like come in the backyard, actually to the point where we're like, if we're out there sometimes they try to come up to us because we have food. So like I'm like, I don't even like, sometimes it's easier to like obviously like walk through grass to get somewhere than like on the path. Like there's I don't do that. Always on the path. So I'm just like always like, oh my gosh, do people, if you're just like living around here, you don't think about it as much? Because I'm like, oh my god, that's like she's literally walking like in the woods right now to do this.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean,
that's just the question. And the kids play out there in the community. I'm like,
sure, maybe they're doing tick checks.
I know, but the scary thing, I don't know if you guys have heard about alpha-gal. It's like a disease where basically you become allergic to red meat and like
yes, I have heard that. Is it a certain animal illness?
It is, and it comes from the Lone Star tick. And unlike some other tick-borne diseases like Lyme disease needs to be latched on for 24 hours before you can actually get the Lyme disease. This is not the case for alpha-gal, and there's a lot of Lone Star ticks around here. So I'm like, it's like unclear. Obviously, the longer it's on, the higher the chance, but it's not like a 24-hour cutoff. Like you can get it just by being bit and like finding one on you. So that is what's scaring me is like, yeah, we're doing tick checks and like removing it as soon as possible is like the best case scenario, but still I'm like, I don't even want to get one on me. So
that's crazy. Oh my gosh.
I actually know someone in medical school, her dad got alpha-gal, and I didn't realize that it also like has these like cardiac effects. Like I'm like,
oh my gosh.
Yeah. That's not my stressy depressy because I have more to complain about. But otherwise, I'm very much enjoying my new location. We're close to the beach. I've been going to the beach like almost every day.
Wow.
Long-term watchers will know that all I want out of residency is to be close to the beach. So what more could a girl ask for? And we just live in like a nice community. So we're happy.
I know. I feel like you are kind of living your best life right now, especially before starting residency. I was curious to actually ask you, like, okay, so we're from New Jersey originally, and if you are from the tri-state area, maybe you can relate to this, that if you're from like one of the suburbs of New York, like you're from New Jersey, Westchester, Long Island, you really believe that like your suburb is superior. Yes. And all the other ones are terrible. Like you would never be caught dead on Long Island. How? No, never. And I know actually a few people in my program are like from Long Island, and like were like aghast to like end up in New Jersey for their PhD, and they were like, I guess I'm doing it. And then they were like, actually it's not that bad. But now I'm like, now you're on Long Island. Like, how is that as a Jersey girl?
It's
Like,
so funny because I think the biggest thing is like telling people that I was moving to Long Island. They would always be like, okay, like, I'm so
they're like,
sorry,
are
kind
you
of thing.
okay?
To the
Yeah.
point where I don't know if I told you this, miss, but like our grandma with dementia, who like literally doesn't even remember who I am, like most of the time.
Sure. Yeah.
I called her for her birthday or Mother's Day or something. I don't remember recently
Yeah.
though. And I was like talking to her and I was saying that I was moving to, I doing residency in Long Island. She goes, ugh. This lady has no memory of anything, but
I
knows that she
love
doesn't like
it.
Long Island.
Oh, and here's the thing.
So,
When people act that way about New Jersey, I fight to the death. Like,
mhm.
I am here to stand. I have so much New Jersey pride, but, and I get there's nothing rational about the Long Island thing. It's just like, you gotta, it's like a team rivalry, you know?
I think it is hard. I think it's really great for us right now. Like in the beginning, well, I don't know how good it is for Lucas because he's trying to find a job right now. But in terms of the location where we are and
Sure.
like liking where we are right now, like we enjoy this location right now in terms of
Yeah.
like what it has to offer. But I don't see myself, I mean, things could change. I don't see myself staying here like past residency, but I'm really, it has so much to offer. Like, I've just really enjoyed, we're still pretty close to New York City. I mean, close is relative. It's, I don't know actually what the drive is, maybe like an hour and a half.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Honestly, with traffic, probably. This is one
I
thing about
know.
Long Island is the
It's
traffic. It's
trafficy, but
terrible.
I'm like, we are not being travelers right now. We are going to be like very busy and like me doing
Yeah, you're not
residency,
gonna
I'm
have to
just
deal with
not
that. Yeah.
trying to go over. I'm trying to get people to come to me for the most part. So like just thinking about somewhere to like hunker down for these next 5 years of intense training, like I'm happy to be in a place that is near the beach, is relatively near family, is whatever. I mean, we just like I'm not trying to go far. Like everything I need is right here right now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm glad that the train station is close to us cuz you could like door to door be at my house in 2 hours.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
and just take public transport. Um because literally the train is like a 2 minute walk from where we're living right now. And the town is so cute. I don't know, but I still see what people are talking about. But I am really enjoying being here. But again, for the reasons that everyone doesn't like on Long Island, like valid. Like it's hard to get on and off of the island. It's hard, I don't know, to pretty much go anywhere else is the issue. But we're not trying to go anywhere else, so it's all good.
Yeah. No, I feel like it's,
Thanks.
yeah, the ticks are, that's unfortunate. Yeah, I mean, I'm very excited for you because I feel like I've just seen, and now you're about to start residency, so obviously you're not going to have all this time to just be like lounging around,
Yeah,
but
but
you've been able to like, obviously moving is a
lounge.
lot, but you've been able to like go to the pool, the beach, like all the time,
I
and I just
know.
love seeing it for you. I really do.
It has been great. I am just, it's so funny too. I actually enjoy that people feel this way on Long Island. Okay, this is going to be a longer story. Ready? Okay. We visit our friend who lives in a, or like her parents, whatever, live in a town on the Connecticut shore that's also facing the Long Island Sound.
Hmm.
And I always thought of that as a beach. It's connected to the ocean, okay? Purists, I understand it's not the ocean, but it's connected to the
Sure.
ocean. The Sound is not like a lake, right? Okay, fine. Salt water, you just don't get that many waves. And it's a quote rocky beach, right? Like it's not like fine white sand. Okay, fine. But I never thought I loved the beach there. It's so great.
Yeah.
Water's calm and it's nice. I mean, I love a good wave action, like jumping in and out of the waves. Like I do love that, but whatever. So moving here, I'm like so excited to go, and everyone that's local to this area, like literally everyone, I'm like so excited to be here. Yeah, I love the beach. They're like, oh, well, it's not a real beach. We live like 8 minutes away from the beach right now by car. I'm like, what do you mean by that? They're like, it's rocky. So in my brain, I'm not even putting together that the beach on the Connecticut shore is, quote, rocky just because there's rocks there, right?
Yeah,
It's
there's
not,
sand.
there's
There's a lot
sand.
of
It's
sand, by the way. It's
sand.
not like those like
Sand is
beaches
getting
that are.
on your everything, you know?
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
just like, sometimes as you're getting into the water at first, like it's rocky. It's not like gonna cut you, but then it like becomes more
sure.
sand as you get in.
Yeah,
So I'm picturing like a Maine coast when they're telling me this, right? Where it's like genuinely rocky, like no sand. So I'm
yeah.
like, oh man. And they're like, yeah, it's like a cliff and then it's just rocks, whatever. I go, it is for Missy. Well, no, it's just like Campo Beach. Like,
Wow, so
I
interesting.
don't, no one, everyone's like, oh, if you really want to go to the beach, you got to go to the South Shore. Yes, those that is like a more real beach, but I have loved going to our town beach and just being up at the quote North Shore because
I mean, yeah, if you're going surfing, maybe not, but
I know
like,
I don't know what they're
I don't
talking about.
know.
I
That's
think
so
that
interesting.
they can't vibe. Like I think that I genuinely just love going to the beach because I love being near the water. I love swimming. As long as I can swim and be near the water and it's like salt water, right? Like an
And there's
ocean
like beach
adjacent
things, like
situation.
perhaps like a little ice cream,
Yes,
like something. There's a
that's
vibe there.
all I need.
Yeah.
Do I love a little like Belmar Beach, New Jersey? There's waves, a boardwalk. Yes, I understand. And I do love a wave. But the fact that you can just, it's like warmer, I feel like, than the ocean because it's like a smaller, I don't know. I don't know if that's true, but it's lovely. And then people there, even like literally everyone I talk to is like, well, that's not a real beach. Yeah, you can't really go there. And like what? But I'm
That's so
thankful
confusing.
because it's not
Okay,
super busy.
you know what I will say is I have now spoken to multiple people recently who it's like, oh, it's like a friend of a friend or someone like, I know works with like, just a little bit distant who lives in Connecticut, like
Hmm.
on what I consider to be the beach, like in a beachy town or like
Yes,
not far. And I say to them, oh my gosh, like I love Connecticut, like honestly, great beaches. And they look at me like I have three heads.
I know.
And I'm like, and I'm just registering this as you've been talking. I'm like, do they not consider that the beach? Like,
They
I don't,
don't. I think that
so
Jersey
funny.
is specific. We consider all of our beaches beaches. Never
Well,
talk
they
to
are,
someone.
I guess,
They
technically
are.
speaking, they all are. Yeah.
But I also think that certain people think of the beach as like you have to go to Hawaii, you have to go to Florida, and it's like a beach vacation. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
so
Like
interesting.
trying to
Like,
think.
I
It's
kept
as
thinking
if
it was like, oh, they didn't consider that to be a real draw to Connecticut in the way that I do. Because to me, I'm like, oh my gosh, Connecticut is great. Like, you have these great towns that are right on the beach. Cause like for New Jersey, like we're from North Jersey. So it was always like, you really have to like drive down to the beach. And like what's nice about Connecticut is so much of it is just like so close to the beach. And it's like the parts that are like the most easily accessible, like right on the train line to New York, are like the beach part. So that's cool. And they're like, I feel like maybe there's part of it too where they're just like, oh, that wasn't like interesting that you would say that as like that's your draw to Connecticut. Like I don't know, but
I
to me, I'm like the
know.
beaches, they're so great. I don't know.
I don't know. It's so funny because even Dad was saying like, "Oh, I have a colleague that's right from that area, but she says like the beaches there aren't that good. Like you have to go to the South Shore." I was like, "What is up with these people?" Anyway, I don't know.
Yeah,
I think
more
that
for
they're
you.
just more for me. I don't care. I don't know what they feel.
It's such an interesting like stigma. Like they're like, oh, we're not the South Shore. Like we're not.
I know.
Yeah, like it's not real. Like you know what? Let them be that way because then
I know.
probably,
I'm like,
though it's
fine.
expensive, probably cheaper cost of living and less crowded and all
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, then if you go all the way out, it's the Hamptons. So maybe they're
Right.
talking about that. I don't know.
Who's to say? But okay, should we move on to stressy depressy?
Yeah. I have one. Do you have one?
I do too.
Okay, you go first because
Okay.
I feel like mine goes into what we'll talk about today.
Okay, mine is unrelated, but
Okay.
basically, if you're wondering why I'm wearing this workout top today,
I
it's not
actually am
random.
wondering.
It's not random. I have to be wearing a shirt with a built-in bra because our laundry is being repaired right now, and
That is just so not
all my
funny.
bras are dirty. And I had it, we literally, this is the second time this has happened to us. We actually are like thinking of like saying something, just like not even in a complaining way, but just being like, can you please like let us know? Because essentially what they do is, I guess, they post in the elevator of our building being like, next week we're repairing the laundry, and it'll be like 4 days or something of repair, but we're on the second floor, so we don't take the elevator because we're
Mm.
kind, courteous human beings, and our building is like 15 floors, and unless we're carrying something really heavy, we're not trying to hold up the elevator. And so we don't take the elevator, and then the time that we find out is that you have to take the elevator to get the laundry. Like, there's no stairs to get to the basement. So we get in the elevator with all our laundry all packed up, including
Oh,
things that
your
I've
bed sheet.
pre-soaked in for stains. So it's all wet. It's all wet in
Oh
there.
my
Like, put the
God.
wet clothes in with the dry clothes and the sheets. It's all mixing
Was
together.
this today or yesterday?
Today we were going to do laundry, and we get in the elevator and it's like, it's being repaired until tomorrow. Luckily, it's until tomorrow, because the last time this happened, it was like we went down and it had just started. The repair had just started earlier that day, and it was going to be repaired like that entire week. And we were like, oh, like if we had known, we would have just gone earlier today. But we didn't know because we don't take the elevator. So our complaint is going to be like, can you please like post this in the lobby? Like, the people on the second
Yeah.
floor aren't seeing this information. Anyway, so I have to wear this workout top with a built-in bra because I don't have any other things to
You're gonna be
wear.
wearing like a swimsuit. Oh my gosh.
Literally. Like, I was like, I could wear like a sports bra, obviously, but then certain shirts, like, I feel like it would have to be like a workout shirt with that. Like, otherwise, I don't know. I just, whatever. I don't have that many clothes left.
I'm praying for you. That the idea of like having wet stuff. Ugh,
It's terrible. I can't
that's
even think about
terrible.
it. I just, yeah. So that is my stressy depressy today. It was so annoying. And now I'm coming to you. I'm really embracing this look of like acne out, like hair
I
on
feel like you
hair,
can't really see the
because I'm
acne.
covering it with my
Oh,
mic.
good, good, good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it's perfect.
But and I just think like on camera it's like not quite as visible, a little bit. But then it's just like I just let everything go. I'm like in a workout shirt with a built-in bra. I'm like, my hair's like not
Missy
dry. Like,
did go to a doctor's appointment that was irrelevant to anything to do with her skin. It was just like a normal doctor's appointment, and then
yeah,
the
and the
lady,
doctor
the
was like,
doctor was like,
"What are you doing about your acne?" And I was like, that is rude. Like, why would you
"Yes."
bring that up?
It's like, what are you doing about my acne? Is the better question because,
Literally. I'm like, girl, hello, excuse me? Like,
and I feel
not
like
okay.
we have. I have a friend who now is one of your friends too, who when she's had this experience with the doctor, and she was
Yes.
like telling me about this, and of course, like I believe her, but I'm like, it's always like hard to like, was it
You're like,
really
really?
that
That happened
tone?
to you? Like, why
Really
would they
that
just
happened? A
say that?
doctor was like, your acne's terrible. Like, you
Yeah,
need to do something about that. Like, that's so weird. I believed her, but I'm like, damn, that's crazy. And now that happened to you.
I know. Well, I think that it's just like doctors, like, yeah, I feel like they just like, they're in their clinical mind of like, oh, like, okay, you're here for this other thing, but like, how can I help you? Like, I'm here, I'm trained. Like, they're not always thinking about how it's going to come off. And like, I think it really could have been just like so genuinely like, oh, like maybe we could get you in with dermatology. Like, let's brainstorm. But it's just something that, it's like people are so sensitive about this topic. Like, you can't
Yeah.
just be bringing that up. I'm like,
No.
girl, I'm out here thinking it's getting a little better. And now
I
you're
actually
over
do feel like
here.
it's getting better.
Yeah, a bit. But what can you do?
Praying for you.
Anyway, what's your stressy depressy?
Okay, my stress depressy is residency onboarding. Just
Yeah.
like deep sigh. Like I'd miss some emails. Will I so like just I'm already behind and I haven't even started. And I just feel like overwhelmed and that there's a lot of different hospital systems I'm onboarding to, so it's like different emails and people, and for some reason the VA that I'm working at can't send anything to like an academic email for some reason. So it's just going to my like casual email that like I don't check
Hmm.
as rigorously, let's say, and also has like a wider cast for like spam because I feel like
Sure.
more the Gmail one is
Yeah,
like
you're getting like
more
random
inundated, and I'm
promotions and stuff.
genuinely like it's like my Wayfair random notification is coming through, and this guy who works in the security office is asking for an update on the specific thing. So I just feel, and it's like all these, it was my big qualm about medical school, how I constantly felt like there was side quests, is now I'm being side quested again. It's like, okay, I'm BLS certified, but in order to get ACLS certified, I have to drive 30 minutes to this random location to like prove my CPR capabilities and pay $150. No, it was $300 total because with the online portion.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
And then submit that. And that's just like one of the many requirements. It's like all of these, like New York infection control, getting onboarded to different EMRs. Like, I feel like I have a job right now, even though I don't. But yeah, I'm just praying everything works out because there is something that I guess I was supposed to submit a while ago. And I'm trying to like track down, literally emailing all last week, being like, can someone send it? And they're like, you're supposed to have gotten it. And I'm like emailing people and I'm not receiving
I
anyway. Stressy, depressy. I just gotta like trust the universe that whatever. I just like, for the ADHD minded girls, onboarding tasks and getting like not having it come from different, like not like a centralized location, and having like different things coming in, and like it's hard to track. I do feel like I just do better in person for these kinds of things. Like I need to like be in person and you tell me what to do, or you give me a list or like something like that. But c'est la vie. I also, this is my hot take. I actually have two hot takes coming in. One is that you need to do like and I think you have to do the same thing, like a health screener thing.
Oh,
Go to like a
yes. Yeah.
PCP or go to someone and they like
Yeah.
say that all of your medical conditions and your medications, and
Sure.
then also say like you're, I don't know, you're immunized and you're okay to work. I understand the immunizations, that I have no problem with. But and I understand the drug testing and stuff, but the why does my employer need to know my medical history aside from my doctor taking in my medical history, understanding what I need to do or is required for the job, and saying, yes, you can do this based on your
I
medically.
know. I
Like
know. I
people
had to
not
do
to
that
submit
too. And
that.
it did feel like it's not like I have anything really to hide, I guess, but
No.
it did feel like weird being like, oh, like I'm really being at like certain things that we did there, I completely understood. Like
Just
for
like in my
instance,
eye.
like
Okay.
um
I'm
yeah,
crying.
they
This is
like
so
ensure
emotional.
that they make sure that yeah, you've had your vaccines, that you're still immune to things, like that you don't have
TB,
TB,
yeah.
that and then they do certain like that for me they did like a memory like cognitive
Oh,
like
that's
test like
wild. I would
they
fail that.
do
No.
which like I know literally like there was one that was like working memory like remember these words and then I had to do all these other physical tasks in
Yeah.
the meanwhile and then like at the end I had to recite them and I was like ooh like that's like a little bit difficult. I was like rehearsing them in my head the whole
No,
time.
literally.
But yeah, I mean certain things like I mean honestly even for my role I'm a little confused about it because I'm like it's a little bit I mean to be a psychologist like there's psychologists who use wheelchairs like there's like and there were physical tasks. I mean, perhaps you could get an exemption, I don't know, but I imagine that would actually be probably just even a little bit of a headache, probably more. I haven't been through anything like that. And yeah, I had to do things like, oh, like walk in a straight line and, make sure I think there were like tests for like, yeah, all sorts of other like physical
Yeah, it very
wellness.
much confuses me because again, I'm actually like a very not private person. Like I am an open book, but I just don't see the need for medical information to be like important
I don't
for
understand why certain things I'm
employment.
like, I get that you want to make sure that I'm like, to work in hospital, have certain immunity, not have certain diseases, have certain like cognitive functioning. And
Right.
if you're a doctor, you may need certain like physical functioning to like physically perform your role. But
Yes.
other things like I don't understand why they need all that information.
I
Again, it's not
know.
like I had anything to hide. And I'm in the lucky, very fortunate position of that, where I was like, okay, there's something I really don't want them to know, but it's just like weird that now I'm telling my
Yeah.
employer all this history that's like kind of irrelevant in my opinion. And I can't even imagine for someone who's had more difficult things, like, or just
Yeah.
things that they'd rather keep private for any reason from
I
their
mean, there's
employer.
medications that have stigma, there's diagnoses that have
Yeah, of
stigma.
course.
I
Yeah.
just I just don't quite understand it. And I understand
Yeah.
that I actually don't know who sees it, but I'm sure that it's just like occupational health or something,
Yeah, I
right? Who
don't think
like
it's like my direct
sources.
supervisor is now seeing like all the medications I'm on or
But
whatever. But yeah,
still, like the fact that like how are we
that
storing
it's
this
in the
information? Why do they
system.
need to know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't know. Okay, number two is that I feel that if a job, after you've accepted the job and they've hired you, says that you need to do something before you start or even once you start, whatever, for the point of employment. Like they hired you based on what you have, they need to pay for that. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like the fact that I need, for example, the New York infection, whatever, like
Yeah, and
control
you have to
stuff, or
pay out of your pocket
I'm like,
to
shouldn't
get the
y'all be paying for
certification.
this? Like, it's
Yeah.
fine. I'm in a very privileged situation where it's like, I'm okay. But I don't know. I don't know what's like standard across like other industries. I just do feel like if it weren't the industry I'm in, that
Yeah.
like I just can't imagine like a lawyer getting a job and they're like, "Oh, there's this random thing you need to get." And then like having
Yeah. You might,
them pay for it.
yeah. I think in certain fields where you have like a license, like you're expected to
Yes, the
maintain and pay for
license, and
that.
I have the license. I have the
Yeah.
MD. But the other things that just the hospital is requiring,
Yeah. I don't
even if
know.
it's legally, I don't know what the legal stuff is.
Yeah.
I feel like they should still. I
No,
don't know.
totally.
That's just my opinion. And I'm going to
I
go even
know.
further. Pay you for your time to do these things. Like if I'm training to join your EMR, I'm putting in effort towards my job.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
it's
know what I mean?
interesting they have you all do that in advance. It's probably just because they need your labor literally right away. Because for us, like we start a lot of those trainings like post like July 1st. Like I have like my Epic training, like which is like the medical records, one of the medical records, like can't speak systems that a lot of hospitals use in like my first week, so it's like,
Yeah.
okay, like I can't use
Well, we
it
do have
until,
orientation, but I honestly don't know anything about what's happening at orientation,
yeah.
except for like a very few things. But yeah, I'm not complaining because genuinely I am in an okay position. I'm just more like thinking,
Yeah.
like I feel like if I were hiring someone as like a nanny, let's say, to watch my child.
Yeah, and I wanted
And
them to get a certain certification. I'd
and
be like,
I wanted them to be
I'll pay
CPR
for that, but
certified,
I
I would
like,
offer to pay for it. And also, if I had training that I required, like, hey, I'm gonna show you how I don't even know, make them lunch or whatever. I'm gonna pay them for that because that's
yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah. It's so interesting. It's so true.
Food for thought.
Um,
It's not a big lift for me to do it without being paid. I'm just, the complaining starts day one. But let's.
I'm
Day
dead.
-1. But yeah, I am starting soon at the end, not this upcoming week, but the next week. So I have like one more full week. Ugh, that's terrible. That's a bad attitude that I'm having. It's mostly because, and this goes into our topic just in general,
Yes.
that we are talking about starting a new thing, starting new chapters, and like the anxiety and the feelings and excitement or whatever comes with that. But I am nervous to start this new thing, and I have not worked hard forever. The last time I like genuinely worked hard was last summer when I was on my pediatric outpatient rotation. But I don't even know if I count that as like working hard. Like because I did actually enjoy doing it and it like wasn't that bad or stressful. Maybe the last time I was working hard before then that was like genuinely my internal medicine rotation like a while back. So like but okay, I have not been in the hospital since end of October, like during interview season and stuff. I have had online classes and then since my wedding have not done anything. So just like
Time to do stuff.
it's time to do stuff. And then also I know everyone else says this, but I feel like no, for me it's like for real, for real. Like I genuinely feel like I don't know anything and that like I was a much smarter person a year ago. Like I taking like step 2, I feel like that was like when I was my smartest self and like knew all these things. Like I genuinely feel like I knew so much. And now I'm like, oh my God, like what is an EKG? Like I don't even remember.
I kind
But
of feel that too because I haven't really done much clinical work this past year. And I'm like, oh, shoot, I have to like remember how to. I've done clinical work, but it's more so been in like an inpatient setting where I haven't been like really people's one therapist. So now I'm like, oh my gosh, like I have to like remember how to do that. Like, how does one do that? I don't know. To
no, truly.
get back into the swing of that because I was in such a rhythm for so much of my PhD of doing that. And now I'm like, hello. Like I just,
No, literally.
yeah.
I do feel like, okay, medical school, if it's good for nothing, it is good for teaching you to just land on your feet and be very adaptable to new situations. Oh my God. Like sometimes it was every week, but a lot of times it was like every 2 weeks. At the most, it was every 6 weeks. But you're like moving to a new location, new EMR, new hospital system, new team, new specialty, and you just have to jump in and go. And obviously, now looking back, it's like, okay, a lot less. It felt like, right, so much is expected of you and like you're getting graded and all of that. But like, it's, I definitely feel like, okay, I can jump into new situations. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with meeting new people. I'm okay with like joining new teams and, you know, figuring out things that would have stressed me out before, like where's the cafeteria and where do I park my car and like that all I feel like I can figure that stuff out. But it's the like genuinely just feeling incompetent and they're like, oh no, they're gonna see it's probably like some imposter syndrome. But I'm like, I
Yeah,
don't think it's
yeah.
imposter syndrome. I think I genuinely am like I can't even say that because I genuinely just like am not
You're
they're
like,
gonna
but I am an
realize
imposter though.
that they hired the wrong girl for the job. Like, and I'm specifically I'm like I feel okay about psychiatry. Not that I'm like know so much, but I feel like I can land on my feet there. It's like the internal medicine stuff is
Yeah,
what
yeah.
is giving me the heebie-jeebies and like
Yeah.
ah yeah.
I know. I definitely think I think I have a little bit of imposter syndrome too. I don't think I'm specifically worried about anything in particular, but I just, yeah, of course, there's a part of me that's like, oh, like somehow I slipped through the cracks. Like they
Yes.
probably ranked me last, and I just ranked them number one, and here we are. Like, just all these things that you convince yourself, oh, like they thought this about me, which is why they felt convinced, but I'm not going to really be this I don't know. You
Yeah.
just, it's interesting to think because I think I feel like I'm like you where I'm like, I really convinced myself that no, but it's true about me. Like, I actually think with grad school, this was like a huge thing for me for longer than
Interesting.
I ever realized. Like, I think it kind of spanned for most of grad school, but I actually didn't
Whoa, I
even.
didn't know that.
No, I think, well, I mean, we can talk offline, but I feel like feel like in my brain though, I had such legitimate reasons that it was like not even imposter syndrome. You
Oh,
know
I
what I
kind of know what
mean?
you're talking about. No, no,
Yeah,
no, no.
yeah,
I know what you're talking
yeah.
about. But also, I'm like, in my brain, you're just like
But now I've
the
like been through,
best. Yeah.
I think I've been through a lot and seen also being like on like the other side of grad school admissions and like seeing how many, first of all, people are in situations that, you know, I thought one thing about my situation and then there's other situations that are completely different and like, I don't know, I just see how hardly anyone is in the quote unquote perfect admission situation where they're like, you know, first ranked choice or like whatever, but it's not because all these other people are bad. It's like, I know everyone always says this, but it's always like legitimately there were like 20 perfect people and we could only take 5. And so, you know, whatever, like anyone who's like doesn't have the perfect admission story, it's not because anything bad genuinely. Like there's so many amazing qualities about people who are not having the exact perfect journey. And so I think just seeing that I think has been like humbling and also just makes me realize like, yeah, there's to just kind of like let that go.
Are you saying let
But
go of your
imposter
graduate
syndrome.
school stuff? Because you got your
Yeah.
first choice for your
Yeah.
internship, but
Yes. Yes. So I think now I'm trying to apply that as well to internship because yeah, it really sneaks up where you literally you'll have such real reasons in your brain for being like, no, but like I am this is the actual reason why I'm not as good and like I convince myself of that and it seems so legit that it's not just like, oh, this nebulous feeling that I'm not as qualified. It's like this real thing that you can point to. But everyone has those things. You know what I mean? I guess is what I'm trying to say.
I just like the weight of like taking, I just feel like so not qualified enough. And then I'm thinking about, I was talking to my friend Jenna earlier today. I was talking about, and I think I talked about this on the pod last time, how I was like, everyone is so much more sentimental about becoming a doctor than I am, right? And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, I think part of that is I feel like I'm not really a doctor. Like,
Yeah.
and I
No,
don't think I put that
totally.
together because I'm like, I don't feel different. Like, I knew that's what I was saying, all this stuff. Like, okay, whatever, it's
Yeah.
just a job. But I'm like, I do not feel like a doctor. Nothing has changed. I don't feel like I've arrived at this place. Still feel like I actually know less than I did before.
Yeah.
I
That's so
don't feel like a
interesting.
doctor. So I don't want to be called that. I don't want the responsibility of that. It's not that I don't want the responsibility. I really respect that it's a huge, I just respect how big of a responsibility it is. So I don't want, it's like crazy to me that obviously there's grade dated autonomy that you get, and I will have very little of it in the beginning, but you still do have some. And like just the idea of taking care of patients, I like take so seriously. And the fact that like I'm like, oh, that's also why there's all these other reasons why I'm not sentimental, but I'm also
Yeah.
just don't feel like a doctor, and I don't want to be thought of that way because that comes with the notion that I'm qualified to be that, and I don't feel that.
Right.
I
That's
feel
so
like I like
interesting.
sneaked my way through medical school
Yes.
by the skin of my teeth.
Right. Yeah.
We
And
shall
it's,
see
I
if
think
that's true. Jury's
I feel
out.
like for me, it's like compounded by the fact that I didn't graduate. Like I defended my
Yes.
dissertation. I'm done. But and this is like my other. It's like so well-meaning. People are like, "Oh my God, you're on break, right?" No, that's not how that works. I mean, maybe for some people because if you've orchestrated your life this way, but for the most part, if you're like doing your PhD or continuing to be involved in research projects, like you're taking things because it's a good opportunity, which is essentially what I'm doing. And research doesn't like cleanly have like a start and end, like unless you're like fully leaving an
Yeah.
institution. So like, and even then, I just think you continue to like collaborate as long as you stay in academia. So like the answer is no, I'm not on break right now, but I'm where was I going with this? That was a tangent. But what I mean to say is like, yeah, there wasn't even a ceremony to show for it other than defending my dissertation against. But even with that, I like went right back to lab like the next week, like, and was like, I'm here, like, like just like every other week, like nothing was different really after I defended. So yeah, I feel like it's, yeah, I feel like I just feel like the same person, I guess is what I mean to say.
Yes, that's how yes, that
Yeah.
is such a good idea too. Of like, nothing changed between being a medical student. I remember for the longest time, literally for the longest time since October, right? I've been out of the hospital. There is very little knowledge. I took these online classes. And then it was like almost no classes, right? Because I was like on break
Yeah.
for a lot of it, where I'm like really not getting any new information, but I'm still a medical student, right? So like if there's a medical emergency on a plane, I'm not a doctor, and like anything I do, I'm
Right.
still just the medical student. And then all of a sudden a date changed, graduation happened, I walked across the stage, and now I have all this responsibility and like are assumed to have much more knowledge
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
autonomy than I did as a medical student. So I do feel that very strongly of like nothing's changed, and yet I'm starting this new role and have to be
Yeah.
different
Yeah.
and have to assume more responsibility. And yeah, that's scary.
Yeah, totally. I feel like, and it's interesting to, my, as you know, my husband Jacob is about to start a new job tomorrow. So
Yes.
he's also in this, like, we're kind of both, and you too, like in these like transitional moments. And I feel like, not to, not to out him, but I feel like he's feeling a lot of this too of like, did they really like assess everything they needed to assess about
Mm-hmm.
me? And like, what if I don't turn out to be what they thought I was going to be? And I think I obviously just have tried to tell them all the things I know are true of like, I know that you're like, you had so many interviews, they did their due diligence. Like, I know that you're going to succeed in this role. This is like really perfect for you. And I just know you and I know that you'll do what it takes to succeed. But it's hard to internalize if it's you. And I see him really having like peak Sunday scaries, being like, oh my gosh, like, what am I show up and I just, like, what am I supposed
I
to do?
know.
It's scary.
Terry Blay. Oh, I, yeah, I can't. I mean, at least my program does not do 24s.
That is
Beautiful.
really good. That's good.
If
I
I
don't
were
think I
going to
actually
a
remember that.
program, if I were going to a program that did 24s, I think I might explode. Can you oh my God.
24-hour shift. Oh, terrible. No, I mean, I was just talking to someone I know who's a resident, and she just does it with so much grace, but she was like, "Yeah, I just had like this week I had like 24-hour shift and then like night shifts all week." And I saw her at this like thing for like a mutual friend that we went to this week. And so she was like, I actually got tonight off to come to this. But so I just woke up, so I'm feeling a little chaotic, but like otherwise like seems so graceful about everything. I'm like, I'm so impressed by you. I feel like I could never, I feel like out of sorts just being here at like a 7 p.m. event. Like,
Okay, this is
yeah.
what Dad did say to me. This is now a kind of new topic. It's not on the 24s. But he was like, if you recall, though, you actually really liked these people. I was like, ooh, Dad, with the points. I was like, you're right. I did like them. It was one of my favorite interviews. I remember telling you about how great it was. And I was one of my
Yeah.
favorite program directors. Definitely the one I felt like, I didn't know if it was one-sided at the time, but I felt like I connected with the most and really just aligned with her vibe and
Yeah.
thought she was just great and really liked the residents, all that. So that is reassuring. I just like yeah, I cannot shake the feeling that I'm not good enough to be doing it. And also just like very scared of the hours that I'm going to be working.
I
So
know.
I
I
just want to get my
know.
schedule back. Like I want to know, I just want my schedule, basically.
I feel, yeah, I do hear that for you. I feel like I'm in such a lucky position. Now, normally for like psych internship, which is like our residency, it's nowhere near like what residents do, but it might be like a 50, 60 sometimes hour week. And a lot of places are pretty intense like that I applied to. It would be like, okay, it's like somewhere like 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Somewhere like some days it's that. Other days you might get to leave at 5:30 or 6, depending on the day. Maybe on Fridays you leave at 5. Yay. And I was like, okay, I'm going to sign up for like really just more full-time work. And this site that I ended up matching at, I mean, I liked it for so many reasons, honestly. Like I just did really value the training so highly. It's just so flexible in terms of the different options you have for your training. But a huge other draw was just the work-life balance. Like it
Yeah.
is truly like pretty much 9 to 5 and like one day a week at least remote. And in the beginning apparently I actually, this is part of, I think they're like very hands off and kind of chill in a way that I think will benefit me, but is kind of confusing right now because I'm like, I don't know what my schedule is, but they haven't given me any information about the training. But I was telling you, Allie, like I asked someone who's currently there and she was like telling me that actually like in the beginning they kind of ramp you up, like you do training. It's not a full day every day. I'm like,
Love
great.
that.
Love that for me. So
Love
I'm not
that.
really too worried about the hours. But that's very specific to my situation and that's very lucky. But I would feel that if I was in your shoes.
I
Crazy.
do feel though that I'm just going to take it one day at a time and I can get through one day and there will be a freedom of not being like evaluated like you are as a medical
Yeah,
student.
yeah. And
Um,
especially for you, because it's not like you have to match to fellowship. You
I am hashtag blessed. Like,
you just get to
can you
coast.
imagine?
Yeah.
My God. I am blessed. I was thinking about another reason I'm blessed. And this is just the medical field in general. I saw this post on TikTok. I don't remember who posted it, but it was like, thank God the medical community has decided that we just like don't use LinkedIn. Yes. I never have to freaking
Yeah.
use LinkedIn. Like, thank God.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
blessed
Well,
for
the
that
way that you
reason.
all get jobs is like much more like structured than like,
Yes. But there's obviously like networking like for certain people after they're graduating,
yeah.
right? But I just love that it's not a LinkedIn moment for the most part. So just
I
feeling
feel
happy
like
about that.
conferences also help with that because it's like there's more opportunities for this is for academia too. Like academics are like kind of starting to use LinkedIn. I think ever since like Twitter became less of a thing or X like
Yeah, I
became
was
less of
like
a
gonna
thing.
say like I feel like academic LinkedIn is just Twitter.
Yes. Now people have been a little bit transitioning to LinkedIn, but it's not like the same. When academic Twitter was in its heyday, like that was the place where academics really networked and also at
Yeah.
conferences. But I do think conferences like really help and yeah, but also like yeah, again, I think like the way that we get jobs like still on like it's good to network obviously definitely but it's not anywhere near just like the wild west of like getting any other job where it's just
Yeah.
like
Oh my
literally
God.
anytime anyone could be hiring people make up positions like in academia and medicine it's like there is a posting you apply for it it's very like structured even if it's
Yeah.
still like nice to have a good network yeah
No, 100%. Um, I do feel that the way I get through anticipating things being that are coming in the future is that I'm just like, that is so far away. Like,
yeah yeah
I
yeah
did
yeah
that
yeah
for my wedding, if you recall. I'm like, oh, you think that thing in a couple days? Well, that is like so far away, Missy. Like,
yeah
and you
yeah
were
yeah
like,
yeah
it's happening. I'm like, that's not for another 2 days. Come on.
No,
So when
literally,
people are
it would be
like,
like the week
oh,
of Allie's wedding, and she'd be like, "It's so far away."
no, literally, because it felt like, oh my God, there's Monday and then there's Tuesday,
I know, and I was like, "Oh, girl,
Wednesday.
it's like pretty close." But I kind of do that too. I feel like people are like, "When are you?" Like, I just feel like it's another lifetime from now that I'm starting internship, even though it's like very soon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, trying to think.
I know. I feel like this whole episode has just been us being like,
We're
and not
scared.
really giving
Send
strategies.
help.
Um, yeah, I mean, don't have imposter syndrome.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Don't do it. Just, well, I think maybe just dispelling that, like, I feel like everyone has it truly. Um, and if you feel like you don't have it because you have real reasons for why you're not qualified, that's probably still imposter syndrome. Just know that. And just being aware of it, I think, is really important, to call that in and just be like, okay, like that's in the room with me. I'm feeling like nervous, like I'm worried about people evaluating me, etc. But like I had to, if I'm here, I must be qualified. Like they, again, now having been on admission side of things, like I think that's helped me a little bit with this to be like, oh wow, like even if you weren't someone's first choice, like if you're there, you absolutely, they deemed you qualified. They wanted you there.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's literally like splitting hairs to choose like who gets what spot, you know?
I think what's okay, we've actually talked about this before in terms of like not, we're very young, so like making patterns out of things can be
Yes,
sometimes
yeah.
harmful and sometimes helpful. I think sometimes it's helpful. I remember when I was like really scared to go to camp when I was a kid because I was worried about making friends. Dad was like, "You always make friends." And I was like, "Oh yeah, like there's never a situation that I've been in that I haven't made friends."
Yeah, yeah.
So like going in with that confidence. But then, right, there's times when you feel like, oh my God, I always, let's say, get off on a bad foot. Or I'm always like the first day having so much anxiety that like I have to go to the bathroom
Right,
and like try not
right.
to vomit. Like, how many new things have you had, right? Like maybe that happened once or twice, right? So
So
like
true.
how do you both take evidence that you have been successful at things in the past to use that as like you will also probably be successful at this too, but also like okay, the times that you're using as like evidence that you're not going to do well is like that's not an actual pattern. That's just like something that happened to happen sometimes.
Yeah. Wow. Well said. Yes, I completely agree. It probably has only happened like once or twice, and now you're too scared. You're like, oh, I
Hmm.
haven't done that thing again because it was so scary when that happened. Um, totally. And even if it has happened a bunch of times, whatever that thing is that you might be worried about, there is a first time for everything. And this is also part of like, you can think back to our exposure episode, thinking
Hmm.
about like just there's no way over it other than through it, is basically the idea. And the idea is not that like suddenly everything's just going to magically go away, but by kind of just embracing the thing and trying it, even if it's really difficult, even if the difficult thing does happen, like you know that you've gotten through it.
Yeah.
And you know that you're someone who can handle even those difficult moments, which
Yeah.
is definitely still something.
No, for sure. Um, for me, I play Animal Crossing and I'm trying to do all the things that are like filling up my cup right now. So like going to the beach, going to the pool, playing Animal Crossing, going to Target. These are things that make me happy and I'm just like trying to like build up my reserve. It's like how I'm thinking about it. Like,
Yeah, I think
okay,
that's
I might be
good.
going through something challenging. So like how do I make this last week or I can't even say that. Last week like feel very cozy so that when I come home from a bad day, I feel grounded in like what I still have and like
Hmm.
that I'm like living a good life. It's like those cumulative positive experiences, right? So just like building
Yes.
that up um, before you're kind of starting this new thing so that you're making yourself this soft place to land is how I'm feeling about
Totally.
it.
And that also leads me into there's this idea of like with building habits, like a fresh start is so powerful. This is obviously why like New Year's is really big for people, making New Year's resolutions. Obviously, many of them don't always stick, but at least in the beginning, people often start like making new habits. But actually, some of the most powerful fresh starts are when you like do have a big change in your routine
Mm.
and you like start a new job or you actually a lot changes for you so you kind of have to like
Yeah.
change your routine and you can't really fall back on old habits. Um, and so I kind of tying that in to this idea of filling your cup. Like if you have a fresh start coming up, one opportunity with that is to build all these like nice little habits in of like, oh, like now I have my rest and relaxation routine kind of all locked in and I know how to get to the beach and I know what spot I like
Hmm.
and all these things that now you can just like build that in to your new routine. And it's an opportunity to still be adding those things in because it's not like you have all those things to like fall back on. You know what I like your
Yeah.
old habits you may not be able to fall back on or it's like easier to change them when and replace them with like new more supportive things at times when you're starting something new.
100%. Is there anything that you're maybe trying, like new habit or anything as you're going in?
That's a great question.
I don't have one.
Well, I was thinking, I mean, I think that my schedule this past year was like in some ways like nicely like very unstructured. I got to be like totally the author of my time.
I do have
I'm
one. Sorry,
I'm not
continue.
going to be as much this way. So I think with like I thought about it with like I'm still kind of thinking what it'll look like of like maybe going to the gym always at a certain time and
Mm,
just being more like regimented with that or being like this is when I don't know. Like I am like in some ways looking forward to having like a routine that kind of is similar every day or most days of the week. I didn't really have that for most of my PhD because every day was so different.
yeah.
And so this isn't really quite an answer, but just like I guess being able to be like, oh, this is the time where I like consistently go to the gym, and this is the time where I take my dog Sadie on a long walk, or like this is my chill time, and I don't have to be doing anything at this time because it's a little bit more siloed for me. Um, just having those yeah breaks, I think, will be nice.
Yeah.
How about you?
Okay. Two things. One, we have a local library that we just joined and I got a book and
Mm.
I've been reading it and I just want to like keep in that habit of reading stuff. So I feel like that'll be good.
Yeah.
Um and it's like a little tied to the community. You know, we live in the suburbs now, so it's just like different. So it's like nice
Yeah.
to have that. Okay, two is I I guess this is like a goal. I've had this before and sometimes I just get out of it and I've talked about it before. It's just like good attitude. You know, I do feel like that
Sure.
can do a lot for you. So I want to just be cognizant and get back into that habit of trying to have a good attitude and good outlook on things and
Love
just
that for
see things as
you.
opportunities.
Yep. Um,